It's time for the MCTS Experience mini episode.
Welcome to a bittersweet mini episode of the MCTS Experience. Happy occasions, but sad to say goodbye to this guy. The great David Lugo, our supervisor at the SIPEC Center.
He's money. He's money.
He is money in the bank and in your pocket. Mr.
Well,
Lugo,
thank you very much. Appreciate that.
thanks for joining us for the podcast.
It's my pleasure.
We are going to miss you. That goes without saying. You're in a position where, a lot of times you have to deal with discipline things and stuff like that. And
Well, tell the audience who.
Sorry, please go right ahead.
My gosh! Listen, Dave's such a big part of the family. Like a lot of times we have people come in and do a mini episode.
Yeah.
We always do the intro, but Dave's so part of who we are. Dave's the assistant principal here at Mercer County Technical School SIPEC Center, often called a supervisor.
Supervisor, yeah.
And he does. You do supervise a lot of things, but in addition to really helping out with the student interactions and with staff and the gusseting, that all the behind the scenes, lift the curtain, check you out. You also were a really accomplished teacher within the district, and when the HSA program started, you were on the ground floor of that, and that birthed so many kids' careers, opportunities for us as a district. I mean, you really were integral. There's three of you, and you'll get into all this. I'm not stealing your thunder, but basically, you're the supervisor, vice principal here at Mercer County Technical School, SIPEC Center, and we're glad to have you here.
All that I was going to say was sometimes he has to be in the position of disciplining students, and yet somehow still beloved, even by the very students who he's had to reprimand or deal with. They all still they wave the Lugo flag high in the air with love.
And that's still a trick that I'm still trying to uncover how that works.
You're gifted. You got a gift
of gab.
Well, you care about kids, you care about people, and when people sense that, that's the underlining tone that you've imparted into the district, and it will be a legacy. The Dave Lugo legacy will be strong, and we're excited to connect and reconnect. But let's get into the time machine. You want to get into the time machine?
Go in the way far back machine. Way back machine.
Let's go to way back machine.
Tell us a little bit about your career, Mr. Lugo.
Yeah, sure. So I came to Mercer County Technical Schools. It was 2010.
Was that your first position? No.
I was teaching in Pennsylvania.
What were you teaching?
I was teaching at a charter school over in Allentown, PA.
Oh, great.
I was there for about a year, and I grew up in Allentown for a number of years, and having gone to Temple, I wanted to come back to the city and be close to the Philadelphia area. A lot of friends and family in this area.
Nice.
And at that point, I started to look far and wide for an interesting position in social studies, and lo and behold, Lucille Jones, the principal at the time at Aspenpink, she calls me and asked me to come in for an interview, and I didn't know much about the technical school world. I was always in a comprehensive or a charter school and whatever the case is. But she brought me in and had that interview. It was very gracious and a wonderful interview. And at the end, I got a call from her after I left, asked me to come back and offer me the position. And I was like, fantastic, it's social studies teacher, but we're starting a new academy.
Oh, boy.
So it's funny how things just fall into place, because when I started at the charter school in Pennsylvania, that was also the inception year, the first year that they were starting it. And from the ground up, I was there for that year and kind of saw the bumps in the road that come with starting a school. So I said, okay, I guess let's do it again.
So I'm imagining, knowing what you already know, living through it, they sense that in the interview, and they experience is everything, in addition to talent, in addition to passion. But if you've lived through something, it can only make you faster, stronger, better the second time around. And they know that you had helped the rocket lift off the launch pad at this other school.
Right.
So here we were at MCTS. Share time forever. Share time since the 70s.
That's our bread and butter.
Nut and bolt, Votech, jean jackets and mullets is our deal. And here we are treading into an academy, a very high-level academy.
Right, and that was the thing where, we discussed how there was so much planning for years. This academy was going to pave the way for the district and incorporate this academic piece where the students are going to come in learning a trade, but in the health sciences. So, we wanted to kind of gear the students into this world of being a medical doctor, a nurse, whatever the case is. but from the ground floor. So that was the exciting part. And at that point, there were 3 of us that started.
Who was it? Who was it?
Rachel Hendrickson.
Nice.
Samantha Ash.
Yes.
Ronnie Tarshishi.
He was the
supervisor. Yep. And
it was Baldino with
John Baldino was there for PE. And I think that was it because I taught social studies and Spanish, and Rachel English.
Oh my gosh, double
Sam
duty,
Ash
triple
was
duty, math,
and John Baldino was the PE.
How many kids in the first run?
We started out with about 20 some odd students. It was at the same time there was a lot of apprehension because we're asking kids to take a chance on us.
Oh yeah,
because come here. This is the first time we're doing this.
Leave your school.
Leave Heightstown. Leave
Lawrence, West Windsor, Trenton, Ewing.
Exactly.
You name it. Oh my gosh.
And give us a shot. So when we, started with that and had a lot of parents come in and we had to almost put the parents put them to ease that this was going to benefit their kids. And lo and behold, it does. Where now we have kids. I have some of my former students at Duke, at Carnegie Mellon, at Case Western. I mean, they are at some incredible institutions. But again, going on that journey from the ground floor to see what that academy has become has obviously catapulted these other academies that we have, from STEM to our culinary academy, into what they are today.
So the HSA plane is lifting off the runway. Like, I want everybody to envision the Howard Hughes plane, if you've ever seen that on any kind of Discovery Channel, this massive, laborious thing, like, and the wings are teetering and the plane's lifted off. Take us a high moment you remember from the early days and give us maybe a dark time.
Yeah, sure.
You can find humorous
now.
Highs and lows.
So I remember, it stands out to me. So we had the kids, I was doing something in history class. I think it had to do with the Civil War, and we were doing a timeline. And I said I always wanted to have a massive piece of paper that can span the length of a hallway with all the timelines of the events that happened.
Sounds fun.
So it was like, how am I going to do this? So we had this huge piece of paper. All the kids, I was able to fit all, and it was a small class at the time, like the 20 kids, onto this piece of paper, and they all had a time period, and they had to draw, illustrate, and discuss what they were putting onto there.
Awesome.
And then we displayed it on the hallway. And it was just a cool experience because it felt like one of these massive banners that you would see on the Macy's Day Parade. Just huge.
Yeah.
And I, at that moment, I just realized how blessed I was to be able to be given the creativity and the freedom to do what I wanted to do.
Somebody trusted you with their son or daughter. Incredible.
And it was unreal. The kids loved it. I mean, they really they took to it, and they enjoyed that class because I pushed them in the creative side, and I wanted them to go through the bumps of it all. But, I was afforded that opportunity to do that because of the administration that we had. And they knew that we had to get the kids really hooked, and, keeping them engaged was the most important thing for me. Right. Absolutely.
All right. Take me into the day when maybe the rowboat was out on the open seas, the winds picked up, and the waves started breaking over the bow, and old Dave Lugo was drinking seawater.
Oh, my God. So there's a number of those. Okay, so there's a number of those. There was one class in particular that always begged me. This is at Aspenpink.
Here we go.
Let's go outside. I want to have class under the trees.
Yes,
this is wonderful. I want to be outside. I want to be outside. Let's do this, Mr. Lugo. Begrudgingly, I was like, I knew what this is going to do because nature. What a beast.
It is.
It's a beast. So we go under these massive trees, and there's these has some of the kids take their chairs, and there's a bench out there. So we sat there. 2 minutes in, and that's pushing it. Within 2 minutes, a bunch of the girls. There's a bug on me. There's a bee.
Oh yeah, crash.
What is this? Then a kid's roaming away. I can't do that. No, there's the wind. Look at this car going by, and they were just so distracted. That was a learning point. I came in and I had a smile on my face, and some of the kids had stuff on them, and like there's a leaf on me, and they just didn't appreciate the nature that was going on. And I looked at them and I said, "Let's do it again tomorrow." They said, "Absolutely not." So while realistically the day was kind of wasted, but it was a learning experience for all of us, and they never wanted to go back outside because they couldn't sit in the chairs with all the nature around them. But that was a funny experience.
Sure, you roll the dice, you move your mice, you take a chance, and and there's crash and burn.
Yeah, maybe you never had to deal with them asking to go outside again.
They never asked to go back outside.
And the best part is smash cut 6 years later, the kid's like, it's beautiful, let's go outside. Nope, we're not going outside. We got a task to do, and we're going to stay to it. And that's how we're gonna do it. I love it. It's very nice.
So, and you became the supervisor of SIPEC, or our assistant principal, 3 years ago, 4 years ago?
3 years, just over 3 years ago.
Okay.
Just over 3 years ago. And I remember at Assunpink, Ms. Heist Pugh, she came up to me, she said, Dave, you would be a rock star supervisor. And I never thought that it would, the journey that I was on to be a teacher, I wanted to be the best that I was at being a teacher. Mm-hmm. I never thought that administration would be the path that I would
be drawn towards,
and then do well in. And she kind of put that in my ear, and I started to think about it. Let's give it a try.
Well, and that's one of Dana's biggest strengths. So Dana Heist Pugh, for everybody listening, is our assistant superintendent, and her ability to see that in people inspires people, and it obviously played a part in who you were.
And it was really neat because she came in one time to my financial lit class, and one of the coolest parts of that class was the Shark Tank presentation.
Oh yeah, remember
the Shark Tank presentations, and the students would have to kind of recreate the Shark Tank model. We had the music going. They came up with their own business plans, all that fun stuff. And Dana was in there. One point, she was laughing too, seeing the kids in their presentations and kind of the questions that we were throwing at them in that Shark Tank model. And, she saw what I was capable of doing in the classroom, and she thought that it would be a good fit over at SciPec to be a supervisor here. And,
so hearing that, when you envisioned of, coming to be a supervisor, and we're one family, one district, 3 buildings, but there is a certain flavor of ice cream from an HSA to a STEM student, to a culinary arts student, to a share time, nuts and bolt, blue collar or white collar program. We're all one family, and we've integrated really well, especially with STEM coming here. It's really immersed all of us together and smashed us together in a very healthy, uplifting way. What did you envision that it was going to be like for you when you came to experience share time, guys and girls?
You must have had a couple of pullout kids.
I had a few pullout kids, yes.
Yeah.
And to me, any student that I had, I enjoyed having in class because it didn't matter to me where they came from, and it was always a blast to have anybody in class. So what I found the most challenging was for me to kind of wrap my head around, well, now as a supervisor, instead of the classroom being my domain, the entire campus is my domain. And that incorporates not just the culinary program that was here at the time, but all the shared time programs, BMT, cosmetology, and I needed to go and make sure I understood those programs to the best of my ability to help them out. So I came into it with an open mind is the best answer that I can give for that. And it worked out best because I don't want to come in with any preconceived notions.
And how can you tell me what a certain flavor of food or ice cream, or if I always go back to the food?
You'd like it.
So do I. Hold on. So do I.
Oh!
We forgot all about this. The famous.
You see how I worked it in there? You see how I got it in there?
You brought it all around. You were like a master.
So, Lugo,
like
when you did come on the SciPec campus, did you quickly find out about baking and dining and culinary arts, as we like to say?
Culinary arts? Oh, I did. It was.
There's the legendary. What do they call it? The SciPec 15.
SciPec 15.
SciPec 15.
But you know what? That SciPec 15 never manifested because I went to the gym because I knew.
I
knew that I'm like, I got to go to the gym because this is going to kill me.
We should be hating you.
Listen. So, what was your favorite item in LaFleur's bakery?
It's impossible to answer that. It's impossible to answer that question.
Come on.
She knows
cinnamon rolls.
And yes, you can say it now.
Chocolate chip cookies.
Why not?
What about those? Like pepperoni bread with
did you ever fall flight to that?
Did I ever?
Inside?
They were on my desk. I never asked for them.
So
they were always there.
Then Simic would torture, like joke around, torture you. They would have the kids put stuff all over your desk.
Lance Simic, and he made it his mission to make sure that I did gain that dad bod. To make sure I got that 15 pounds. Yeah, and I fought it off.
You did a hell of a job because I succumbed a long time ago. I used to be a svelte Dave Nash, and then Dad Bod took over.
You still look fantastic.
Yes,
Thank
you do.
Don't be silly. I'm going to give you 10 of my pounds to take with you when you leave, Mr. Lugo.
Absolutely.
It's a deal.
I've got the Cypec 15.
It's a beautiful legacy Dave Lugo's woven into the MCTS tapestry.
Absolutely. We're gonna start calling it the Lugo 15 now.
Why not?
Even the
No, he defined
Yeah,
it.
I
because
didn't.
he never got it.
No,
So
I
now
have a
we all the
six-pack.
rest
I don't
of
know
us
what you're
get it.
talking about. This is
Oh my God.
I agree. You look
Legend.
fantastic. Mr. Lugo, we are really going to miss you. We're very happy for you, but our loss is Philly's gain. And
I guess a few parting words. It has been, quite frankly, the most incredible adventure of my career. And I've said this to everybody that I've worked with, that it's the people that make this district what it is. How successful the students are is because of how talented the staff are. Wow. And it made my job that much more fruitful, that much more substantive, because I worked with just the best group of people. And quite frankly, I cannot thank you guys enough for all that you've done for me. All the memories, the laughter, the food, my office being tortured to winning the Super Bowl.
Oh my God.
And Joey Cruz and I hugging it out because it was just unreal.
Oh my
But
God.
I'll be honest.
I can't even, I don't want to interrupt you, but I couldn't even believe that happened. I couldn't even believe it happened for you and Joey to be able to enjoy in that sports incredible ascension. And producer Nick is rolling because it should have been the Vikings, and producer Nick is, I remember when the Eagles slayed the Vikings and they got knocked out, and it was a not good thing for producer Nick.
It was a wonderful thing for us over here.
Producer Nick is spinning around rapidly in the chair. We're getting very excited now.
But at the end of the day, I could just keep saying all these accolades, and just the short of it is thank you, and I wish nothing but the best for each and everybody here. And absolutely, one of the things that's most important to me is to remain part of the family. While not physically here, I'll always be here, and I cannot just express that enough to each and every one of you.
good. We appreciate that. We're going to miss you very much. Take a personal day sometime and come back and see us.
Yeah,
please.
Lugo.
So I said to the kids, I'm going to be here for the picnic, and one of the kids said, "Oh, of course you are. It's a food day."
It's hounding you.
That's perfect. That's a perfect note to go out on. Dave Lugo, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
This is Mr. Orff reminding you to like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Share this podcast with a friend. Check out our YouTube page as well. Some great videos up there. Mr. Lugo is actually on one of our videos on the website for the original Health Science Academy video.
It's
He's
on
on
the
there
time machine, little
from when
time
he's-
machine.
Go back in time and see him when he was just as thin as he is now. Listen to this podcast on Spotify, Google Play, and iTunes. And this is Mr. Orff on behalf of myself, Mr. Lugo, Nick McGuire-Sikowski, and my partner Dave Nash, reminding you to discover your passion
And unlock your future.
Hi, Mr. Lugo. This is Emily Frischella, also known as Chip. I'm here today to talk to you on behalf of all of our student body here at the SciPec campus. So now what I'd like to say to you is thank you. And I'm sure everyone's already said that to you, but I don't know if everyone's explained why. At many home schools, the administrators always say the door is always open and they close it. But with you, on the other hand, all the students always came in and always said hi, and they knew they could confront you, whether it was academic issues or teacher issues or personal issues. They always knew they could come to you. And I think that makes a big impact on our school. So on behalf of students, I'd just like to say thank you.